Hello and welcome. This is Gist Nigeria. Coming up, Electoral Amendment Bill. We explore arguments around direct and indirect primaries and impact on Nigeria's democracy. Also, societal expectations. Experts urge men to rise above norms to help their mental health. Plus, safe upbringing. Advocates debate options for children of women serving terms in Kenyan prisons. And
hi, my name is Sally Suleiman. Check me out.
The humanitarian providing educational materials for children in rural communities. Great to have you join us here on Gist Nigeria from the BBC and Channels Television. And of course, on the program, we keep an eye on the stories making the rounds on social media. I am Wali Fakile. Our top story this week. Next year, Nigerians will go to the polls again. To improve the electoral process, lawmakers at the National Assembly decided to amend the Electoral Act. But President Muhammadu Buhari declined assent to the new document. He cited direct primaries proposed in the amendment as being too expensive and not in the interest of Nigerians. But how true is his position on the issue, and who indeed will most benefit from direct primaries being proposed by lawmakers? Gist Nigeria's Aneta Felix spoke to experts in this explainer. Here's the report.
After months of fine-tuning the 2021 Electoral Amendment Bill, the National Assembly sends it off to President Muhammadu Buhari for assent. The President responds with this letter.
Conduct of elections for the nomination of party candidates solely via direct primaries as envisaged by the Electoral Amendment Bill 2021 has serious adverse legal, financial, economic and security consequences which cannot be accommodated at the moment considering our nation's peculiarities.
As Senate President Ahmed Lawan reads on, the lawmakers discover the President had refused to sign the bill into law for these reasons.
The President said, particularly on direct primaries, that it was contrary to free will, freedom of expression, which is very important in a democracy.
Clause 87 of the 2010 Electoral Act allows political parties decide how to select candidates who would contest public offices. They could choose indirect primaries, which means nominating delegates to vote for candidates on behalf of the party, or choose a direct mode, which means every eligible party member would cast a vote to pick candidates for all elections. In fact, President Muhammadu Buhari emerged APC's presidential candidate for the 2019 elections through direct primaries. So while the current Electoral Act gives political parties the option to choose between direct and indirect primaries, the amended bill legally requires all political parties to select political aspirants through direct primaries. Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila said, quote, "I initiated that amendment for a good reason, and it is for the people to participate in elections. For me, it does not make sense that these people do not have a voice in who represents them." End of quote.
Direct primaries, if you are popular in the community and you are contesting for lower positions like state houses of assembly, you just have to get your people to line behind you, compared to the delegate system where you have to eventually pay so much. It's not just about imposition, but it is also the cost of politics.
Speaking for Nigeria's main opposition party, Debo Ologunagba takes an equivocal stance.
The idea of how a party chooses its candidate for an election is purely an internal affair of the party. And we do not believe that the parliament should prescribe or constrict the capacity of a party to use any mode.
From some politicians to civil society organizations, the loudest voices seem to be at variance with the president's.
Section 14 of the Constitution also provides that Nigerians shall practice participatory democracy. So you are not talking of democracy of a few people, maximum participation by the people. And if everybody will have the opportunity to decide who is going to contest election, and the process is transparent, there will be no litigation.
I would, if I were the president, engage the Nigerian people in a public forum, and then, have an aggregation of all opinions before assenting or withholding my assent on that particular bill.
At a town hall meeting in Abuja, former electoral umpire Professor Atahiru Jega makes a case for the passage of the electoral bill.
This country will be better off if we go into the next election with a new electoral law which would enhance the integrity of the preparations and conduct of elections.
Beyond the contentious direct primaries clause, these other provisions have been added to the amended electoral bill. INEC is now empowered to electronically transmit election results. INEC is also authorized to review election results that are declared under duress. The government is required to disburse electoral funds to INEC 1 year to elections. The time frame for political parties to submit their list of candidates to INEC has been extended from 60 days to 180 days before the polls. The duration of political campaigns has also been extended from 90 days to 150 days before the elections. Analysts believe delaying the bill would come at a cost to Nigeria's democracy.
The electoral process in Nigeria will suffer a great deal of credibility and again undermines popular sovereignty that rests in the people who are supposed to make informed choice.
We may actually lose the teeming masses of Nigerians who will want to participate in the 2023 elections.
You can't go back to that 2010 Electoral Act. We shouldn't go back because it is going to damage our already fragile state.
We must meet or risk the harsh judgment.
But Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, assuages these fears. At the resumed plenary on Tuesday, January 18, 2022, he speaks about the prospect of a meeting ground of the legislative and executive arms of government.
I remain convinced that the proposal for direct primary elections is valuable for building accountability in our political system. But we must not allow the perfect to be the enemy of the good. Therefore, the House will reintroduce the amendment tomorrow, and we will work quickly to address the mitigating concerns, pass the bill, and send it back to His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari for assent.
On Wednesday, January 19th, the Senate amended and passed the electoral bill. The clause now allows political parties choose to hold either direct or indirect primaries. From deadlock to compromise, it seems that Nigeria may be conducting its next general elections with an amended electoral act containing breakthrough provisions once the president assents it. Annetta, Felix, Gist, Nigeria.
Well, fingers crossed to see how this all pans out.